The tennis world is divided. For weeks, rumors have swirled about tension between the world number one and the sport's fastest rising star. Whispers in locker rooms, anonymous sources, endless speculation about whether Aryna Sabalenka truly believed in the Filipino sensation who had taken the sport by storm. But now, the silence is broken. The world number one has finally spoken, and her words have sent shockwaves through the tennis establishment. Not because of hostility, not because of jealousy, but because of something far more unexpected. Something that has Filipino fans falling in love with both stars. In a rare moment of candor, Sabalenka has offered her bold prediction for Alexandra Eala's future. And what she said has changed everything. This is not a story of rivalry. This is not a story of tension. This is a story of respect, forged through remarkable parallels, undeniable mutual admiration, and a shared journey that has brought two champions closer than anyone expected. Eala has publicly admitted that she would steal Sabalenka's serve for sure, a confession that reveals her admiration for the world number one's game. And Sabalenka, in turn, has watched the Filipinas' meteoric rise with a level of respect that has surprised even the most cynical observers. Their tournament paths have mirrored each other with uncanny precision. At the Italian Open, both exited in the round of 32. During the grass court swing, both reached the Berlin Open semifinals. At Wimbledon, both fell in the fourth round. In Canada, both were knocked out at the round of 16 stage. The numbers don't lie, and neither does Sabalenka. Welcome to the story of a rivalry that never was, and a mutual admiration that has united fans across the globe. The WTA rankings updated at midnight, and for the first time in her career, Alexandra Eala found herself inside the top 20, a career-high ranking that placed her firmly among the global elite. But the ranking was only part of the story. What had the tennis establishment truly buzzing was something far more unusual, something that had never been seen before in women's tennis. Eala and Sabalenka had reached the same stage of the tournament in the last 4 tournaments they had both entered. At the Italian Open, Sabalenka was knocked out in the round of 32 by Aryna Sabalenka, and Eala was also stopped in the same round by Elena Rybakina. During the grass court swing, Eala reached the Berlin Open semifinals, while Sabalenka likewise advanced to the final 4 of that WTA 500 event. At Wimbledon, Eala produced her best Grand Slam result by reaching the 4th round, while Sabalenka was stunned by Naomi Osaka at SW19. In Canada, both again fell at the round of 16 stage, with Sabalenka losing to Ekaterina Alexandrova and Eala going out to Belinda Bencic. Sabalenka's recent dip in form made the comparison even more notable, but Eala's consistency showed how far she had come. If she could sustain this level, a rise inside the top 10 was not out of reach. The tennis world couldn't ignore it. Commentators discussed it endlessly. Fans debated it passionately. And the media, desperate for narratives, began constructing a rivalry that had never actually existed. But the truth was far more interesting than any manufactured conflict. Before the predictions, before the comparisons, before the world number one ever spoke about Eala, there was something far more fundamental, a mutual respect that had been building for months. In an interview with Tennis Express, Eala was asked a simple question. If she could take a shot from any player in tennis, what would it be and who from? Without hesitation, she quickly responded, I would steal Sabalenka's serve for sure. It was a confession that revealed everything about Eala's mindset. She knew that to compete at the very highest level, she needed to match the weapons of the world's best. And Sabalenka had one of the strongest serves on the WTA Tour. Across 19 matches that year, Sabalenka had recorded a service game 1 percentage of 88.3, which was the second highest of any other woman, second to only Yinwu Ku, who had played only 1 match. Sabalenka was third in break points saved, sixth in aces, and second in percentage of serve points won. Eala's admiration for the world number one was genuine. It wasn't born of jealousy or insecurity. It was born of a champion's desire to improve, to learn, to become the best version of herself. And Sabalenka, for her part, had been watching Eala's rise with a level of respect that was becoming increasingly impossible to ignore. As Eala's ranking climbed, so did her popularity. And in a development that shocked even the most experienced observers, she had become the biggest draw in women's tennis, surpassing even Sabalenka and Coco Gauff. Sam Querrey, the former world number 11, brought up the question on the Nothing Major podcast, asking, is she the biggest draw in women's tennis right now in the world? Steve Johnson, another American former tennis star, replied, yes. Querrey added a follow-up question. Is she bigger than Sabalenka? Is she bigger than Coco? Johnson again replied, yes. Dude, it's crazy. She's having the same effect that Fonseca was having on the men's side last year in Miami, Australia. The court was standing room only. Then Dubai, standing room only. It's insane, like it's massive. The crowd she's getting, like all over the world, are insane. The trio compared Eala's pull to the Fonseca effect on the men's side in Miami, when Brazilian teenager João Fonseca's matches had to be moved from outside courts because chanting fans overwhelmed the grounds. Querrey argued that Eala's surge might already be bigger, saying her crowds now demanded center court or at least the second largest stadium wherever she played. Isner then highlighted the commercial side, calling the Philippines a huge market many in tennis had underestimated and stressing that fans finally have a star on the women's side of the game, making Eala definitely one to watch, obviously because she is just too good, but just for the atmosphere. Adding to this, Querrey said, she's already been on the cover of Vogue, and she's playing well right now, too. This is like if she wins a slam, it would be like one of the biggest things in the world. The Filipino fan phenomenon had become undeniable. At the Australian Open, hundreds of fans were turned away from Court 6 as the stands overflowed, forcing many to watch from walkways overlooking the court. Her pre-tournament press conference drew about 171,000 online viewers, dwarfing the roughly 29,000 who tuned in for Carlos Alcaraz or Coco Gauff and the 9,000 for Aryna Sabalenka. The numbers didn't lie. Eala had become a global phenomenon. And then it happened. Sabalenka, the world number 1, broke her silence. In a moment that stunned the tennis establishment, she offered her bold prediction for Eala's future. The world number 1 had been watching. She had seen the comparisons, acknowledged the similarities, and recognized the respect that Eala had shown her. And now, she was ready to return the favor. Sabalenka's prediction was simple, direct, and surprisingly generous. She believed Eala would continue to rise, that the Filipina was a legitimate threat to the sports elite, and that her best tennis was yet to come. For Filipino fans, the moment was surreal. The world number 1, the woman many had assumed was threatened by Eala's rise, had publicly acknowledged the Filipina's talent and potential. It was an endorsement that transcended competition. It was a show of respect that united two fan bases in celebration. The reaction was immediate and overwhelming. Filipino fans, who had been prepared for conflict, found themselves embracing both stars. Social media exploded with messages of appreciation for Sabalenka. The narrative of rivalry was replaced by one of mutual admiration. And Eala, for her part, expressed her gratitude. She spoke of her respect for Sabalenka's game, her appreciation for the world number 1's words, and her excitement for the future of women's tennis. The conclusion of this story is not a rivalry. It is a celebration, a recognition that tennis is better when champions respect each other, a reminder that greatness inspires greatness. Sabalenka's bold prediction for Eala has united fans across the globe. Filipino supporters, who have been prepared to defend their heroine against all comers, now find themselves cheering for Sabalenka as well. And the world number 1, in turn, has gained a new legion of supporters from a nation that has embraced her with open arms. The numbers are clear. Sabalenka's service statistics remain among the best in the world. Her service game won percentage of 88.3 is elite, second only to Yin Wu-Ku, who has played only one match. She is a champion, a world number 1, and a player who has earned every accolade she has received. And Eala, the Filipina who has become a global phenomenon, is on a trajectory that could see her break into the top 10. She currently sits at number 20 with two important chances to add ranking points at the Cincinnati Open and the U.S. Open. She is 240 points behind Alexandra Eala, who sits at world number 19. The journey is far from over. The Cincinnati Open looms, where Eala will make her main draw debut, guaranteeing points even with a first-round loss. The U.S. Open follows, where she is defending second-round points after beating Clara Tauson for her first Grand Slam win at the 2025 event. Sabalenka's prediction may prove prophetic. But more importantly, her words have created something far more valuable than a rivalry. They have created a connection, a bond between two champions, two nations, and two fan bases that now cheer for both stars. From the cracked courts of Quezon City to the center courts of the world, Alexandra Eala's journey is just beginning. And Aryna Sabalenka, the world number one, has already declared her belief in the future that awaits her. From the halls of power in Belarus to the streets of Manila, one truth remains undeniable. Champions recognize champions. And when the world's best speaks about the sport's brightest star, the entire tennis world listens. Alexandra Eala is not just the future of tennis. She is the present. And Sabalenka, the queen of the WTA Tour, has already crowned her